in the Delta IV horizontal integration facility, the lobby, and let me show you the 5 different configurations we have of the Delta IV rockets. All based on the common booster core, 16 feet 7 inches in diameter, 150 feet tall. We can put either a 4-meter second stage or a 5-meter second stage on top of the Delta IV. With a 4-meter and a 4-meter payload fairing on it, we call that the Delta IV Medium. If we put solid rocket motors on it, we call it a Delta IV Medium Plus and describe it by the size of the second stage and the number of solid rocket motors. So one with a 4-meter second stage and 2 solid rocket motors is called a Delta IV Medium Plus 4.2. With a 5-meter and 2 solids, it's a 5.2. With a 5-meter and 4 solids, it's a 5.4. And then our heavy vehicle has 3 common booster cores, a 5-meter second stage, and a 5-meter payload fairing on it. This one can lift the payload the size of a school bus up to geosynchronous transfer orbit, 22,300 miles above the Earth.
All right, Mike, I'm looking behind you, and I'm going to go out on a wild limb and say that's a rocket we're looking at. Why don't you tell us a little bit about it, some cool facts?
Yes, this is a big old rocket ship, the Delta IV. The common booster core is 150 feet long, 16 feet 7 inches in diameter. It's filled with liquid hydrogen and liquid oxygen. The large tank is the liquid hydrogen tank, 110,000 gallons of minus 423 degrees Fahrenheit fuel. We cover it with a spray-on foam insulation, and then the liquid oxygen tank is 40,000 gallons of minus 297 degrees Fahrenheit fuel. When you put that much super cold fuel in the rocket ship, it actually shrinks 3 to 4 inches because of the super cold and the interaction with the aluminum tank that it has.
So let me get this straight. This thing is going to shrink 3 inches inward?
3 inches longitudinally.
Oh, okay.
It's an 80-foot tank, and it's going to shrink. The hydrogen tank is an 80-foot tank. Going to shrink 3 to 4 inches.
As I look at the Delta IV, I got to tell you that it reminds me in some ways of the shuttle ET, because the coloration. Now, is that where the similarity ends, or is there some similarity between the ET and the coloration we see behind us?
Well, actually, it's a similar spray-on foam insulation. We call it SOFI, and it has the same coloration because of the moisture in the air and the heat. That's the interaction with the spray-on foam insulation.
All right, Mike, we looked at the back end, the business end of the Delta IV. What are we looking at right now?
Okay, behind me is the liquid oxygen tank, and attached to that is the white structure, and that's the interstage adapter. Attached to that and inserted in the interstage adapter is the liquid oxygen tank and the second stage engine, and the exterior of it, the white section, is the liquid hydrogen tank of the second stage. Right now we're looking at the top of the liquid hydrogen tank of the second stage.
Okay.
Once we verticate the rocket, set it on the launch stand, and check the rocket ship out, then we'll bring in the encapsulated payload and set it on top of the second stage hydrogen tank there, out at the pad.
Now, Mike, I see there's still, and we're looking over here to our right, and I can see there's room for more than one. About how many Delta IVs can this facility hold?
Well, this facility can hold 9 common booster cores. So if you have a heavy rocket in one of the bays, that's 3 of them. 3 more could be put in the second bay, and then we have an annex where we can stage 3 more common booster cores. So 9 rockets total inside the Hif. A quiver of rockets, if you would.
All right, now, space fans, Mike has decided to share with us some interesting factoid about spaceflight. Mike, go ahead.
Here we go. We started building the horizontal integration facility in August of '99.
Okay.
April of 2000, didn't have any lights on yet, no doors on the facility. In one of the 5-foot trays underneath the floor here, we had a plumber come in to install some of the plumbing. He was in at 7:30 in the morning. It was dark. He stepped down into the 5-foot trench, and the pipe he stepped on raised up. Took another step, it raised up again. He jumped out of there, found a 10-foot alligator inside the trench. 10 foot exactly, we measured it. Now trappers, alligator trappers, don't charge you anything to come in and remove your alligator. If it's less than 6 feet, they have to relocate it where the wildlife ranger tells them to. But if it's greater than 6 feet, they get to keep it. And once they see the size, they know how much they're going to get for the teeth, the hide, the meat, and the claws. And these two guys were smiling like mad. We've got 13 guys on the end of the rope, and he helps lift it out as we're pulling it out. I thought we were going to have to use a forklift to get it out.
Now, we didn't quite have that on film, so we want to make sure we get that correctly. Now, you mentioned that the alligator began a death roll, but what exactly is the tape connected to there on the alligator?
It's black electrical tape on his snout.
That's not the word you used, and you know it, Mike. You said his nozzle. He's been working around rockets too long.
That's exactly right.